Okay, hi guys, welcome back to, oh hi, buddy. Welcome back to another video. So, as you can see by the title, today I thought I would talk to you about how intermittent fasting basically changed my life. I don't even know if that's like too dramatic, but it seriously like got me back on track for like a healthier lifestyle. And I just want to like share that with everyone else, because when I was trying to figure out, I just needed something to change. And when I started looking into intermittent fasting, I had no idea like really what it was and how serious you had to be. And I was trying to watch videos and I feel like none of them really explained what I was looking for. So I'm hoping I can help someone if anyone else is also interested. Also, my dog has been super needy lately, so if he comes up and decides he needs attention, very sorry. And I am sitting in front of a new spot. I showed this in another video a while back, but this is kind of like my new office setup and I love it. I think it's so cute. I still need to hang things on the wall and like finish it and stuff. But yeah, I thought I would film up here today just to switch it up. So, okay, let's just like jump right into the video. The main thing I want to say before I even get started is that yes, I did lose weight intermittent fasting and that was my goal, but it also helped me eat healthier meals and be more active and just be happier in general. So it wasn't totally a goal to like lose weight. It was a goal to feel better overall and feel more like myself again. So this is just my personal experience. I'm not like an expert on this. If I say something wrong, please don't come for me. And I know that I am still a small person, so technically needing to lose weight wasn't, you may think of it as like not a requirement, but I really just wasn't feeling like myself. So yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to like upset anyone, and it's kind of, I know like talking about like diets and losing weight can be a sensitive subject, so if you feel triggered by this, please don't watch it. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna give you a quick backstory as to how I got to this spot in my life. When I was living in Europe for 6 months, I was like thriving on the food there. Everything is so much more natural and less processed, and you're walking a lot more and you're just eating healthier in general. And so I actually like lost not a lot of weight, but just a little bit of weight, and I probably lost some muscle because I wasn't like working out. I was just walking everywhere. So when I came back to the US, I had the hardest time. I was sick for like 3 months. Like I had the worst stomach pains, and I was eating like I was still eating in Europe. So I was eating way too much food. And okay, if you can hear my computer, I'm very sorry. I know it sounds like it's gonna explode. It's just downloading photos. Anyway, so I was eating like I was in Europe, and like when you're eating like that here, it's a lot harder on your body. It's a lot more food, it's a lot more calories, and then you're not as active. And I started lifting weights, so I felt like I was like bulking. And like for me, bulking, obviously I didn't look like a bodybuilder or anything, but like I just like felt uncomfortable in my clothes. I felt uncomfortable in general. I felt like I had put on a lot more weight than I had ever put on, and I'm just a small person. I grew up dancing. I've always had like lean muscle. I'm just a small person, so I felt like I was like just not myself. And I looked different, I felt different. So anyway, basically I was eating too much food, and I was lifting weights. I was lifting really heavy weights too. So then something clicked in my head about 6 months ago. I was like, I need to change. I am so unhappy. And this was like, so I was in Europe 2 years ago. So I spent like a year and a half eating like this and working out like this, and I was just very unhappy with the results a year and a half later. And I had gained 10 pounds. I'm like, what the heck? Like, I'm lifting like crazy. I'm eating okay. I didn't really see what I was doing wrong. And so then I just felt like I really needed to make a change. and someone was talking about intermittent fasting. I'm like, what is that? They're like, I don't know, but like apparently like you can lose weight on it, whatever. And I started like looking it up, and I honestly really had no idea what I was looking up or what was gonna come from it, but I was like, okay, like I'll give it a try, because I felt like I was eating giant breakfast, giant lunch, giant dinner, and I would just feel so sluggish throughout the day. And the more I ate, like, so if I ate like an okay breakfast, then I ate a not okay lunch, and then I ate a really bad dinner, and it would just get worse throughout the day. And I was like, oh my god, like I felt so miserable, my stomach was always hurting, I just felt so like heavy, if that makes sense. Like I didn't look heavy, but I just felt like weighted down. So anyway, that's kind of like why I tested intermittent fasting, and it has been almost 6 months now that I've been intermittent fasting, and I am not strict with it. And I'm not on some special diet. All I did was, okay, so basically I just don't eat breakfast. I eat 2 meals a day, and I make sure that I'm getting all the proteins and nutrients that I need in all of those meals. And I stopped lifting weights, which I know some people will feel a little, I don't know. I understand why you lift weights, and I did feel really strong, but I just wasn't loving myself. I didn't feel like myself when I was lifting weights. So anyway, back to intermittent fasting. What I do and what worked for me, and I'll kind of get into like why it worked, but I would not eat until I was hungry for lunch. And it kind of was hard at first, because you would wake up and instantly be hungry, because like that's what you're used to. Oh boy. So I would always like wake up thinking I should eat. And then I would drink a lot of water. I would go do my yoga or my cardio. And I wasn't doing like intense cardio. I was like walking 2 or 3 miles a day, and like maybe going on the bike, I don't know. And then also doing yoga some days. So kind of just like those were my 2 workouts. And then I would eat lunch when I was hungry. So I didn't have like a set time where I broke the fast. It was just like, oh, if I was hungry at 11:30, I would eat. If I was hungry at 1:30, I would eat. And I found that I ate healthier meals. So by the time I got to lunch, I would only eat when I was hungry. Versus when I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I would have to space them out and eat at certain times. That way they weren't too close together, and that it just didn't flow. So I was eating breakfast at like 9, and then lunch. I don't know, it just didn't make sense. So when I started intermittent fasting, it actually helped me eat healthier meals, eat lighter meals, and yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I would eat lunch whenever I was hungry, and it helped me pick healthier options. So right now for lunch, which I've been doing for quite a few months now, is I eat a huge bowl of spinach, and I put different like either fruits or veggies or whatever inside the bowl, and then I use a healthy dressing, and then I'll make like an almond butter on a rice cake, or hummus with bell peppers, or I don't know. I always switch up like something on the side to go with my salad, just to give me some extra protein. And then I would go throughout my day, and I felt like my day wasn't revolved around my food. So then I would eat dinner when I was hungry, and I would eat healthier dinners. And I'm like, holy crap, this is like amazing. Like I felt so good. I had so much energy throughout the day, which I think is like the best part, is that like, you feel like you have sustained energy all day, which seems crazy because you're not eating breakfast, but it's not like I'm starving myself. I'm still getting all of the calories that I need, but like when I need them, if that makes sense. So I don't get hungry until like lunch now, and it feels so good because then I can make better decisions. So anyway, then when I get to dinner, I eat a healthy dinner, and that's that. I don't snack, but I've never been a snacker, so I don't really know how to like answer that if somebody is a snacker. I don't like snacks. I don't eat snacks. I just eat 2 big meals, and that's it. And then I don't have like a set time that I have to have dinner eaten by. Pretty much just eat whenever I'm hungry and when it works for our schedule. And then same with lunch. So I know a lot of people are super strict. They're like, I have to eat by like 9 and then I eat by a certain time. But I don't do that because I feel like that was too restrictive and too hard and just not very go with the flow. So like that's how you would not stick with something like this. Like that's not very long term and sustainable. So I just eat when I'm hungry, and it has been absolutely amazing. And I think the reason why I've lost so much weight doing this is because I'm eating when I'm hungry, and I'm eating healthier meals because of it. So I'm not waiting until I'm absolutely starving and dying and I need food. I'm like, oh, I can feel myself getting hungry, time to eat. But I'm not just eating just because it is a time where most people eat, if that makes sense. So that like really helped me get my food in check. I was making healthier decisions, eating when I was hungry, and I don't really know what happened, but on top of like doing yoga and cardio, I just saw like a dramatic change within 2 months, and I was so happy. I felt like I was finally myself. I was comfortable in my own skin, and it just felt so good. And now I've maintained at this weight that I was when I went to Europe, which has been my weight for years and years. Now I've maintained that for a few months now, and it feels so good because it's like I can still travel and have fun and eat however I want, and I don't really see a big change where I felt like before I was intermittent fasting, I saw like a huge fluctuation. When I would travel, I would gain weight and then I'd come back and I'd feel miserable. And I was just in like a not good place. So anyway, that's kind of like my story about how I got there and what I do. And it has helped me so much, as you can probably see in the title. But anyway, I've lost 10 pounds intermittent fasting. So because of that, I eat healthier meals, I'm only eating when I'm hungry, and I changed my workouts, which I don't know if that made a huge difference or not. But yeah, I changed my workouts, and I absolutely love doing yoga. It's like what I did when I grew up. I grew up dancing. So doing things like yoga and cardio just feel better to me than lifting heavy weights. And that's totally fine because that's what works for me. And there might be something different that works for you. Whatever it is, that's fine. Just like figure out what it is that makes you feel good, because I was in a not good place. Like I loved lifting weights, but I didn't like the way I was looking. I felt like I was retaining more fat, more water weight. I was just bulkier than I wanted to be. And being a really short person, that doesn't really work out too well. So I just didn't feel good. And now I'm back to where I was, and I feel so good, and I'm so happy. And I really feel like intermittent fasting is what helped me get there. So I don't think it's for everyone. It's hard at first, and like obviously you get used to it, but it really helped me, and it helps me just stay on track. It's something that I can always get back to. Like when I come back from a vacation, I always just have that same, I'm like, okay, I'm intermittent fasting, always. I do it on vacation too. It just keeps me in line, so then I can't totally fall off the wagon and be like, oh, never mind, like I had a bad trip, and so now I'm just gonna continue with this bad habit. It's always sticking with me, which is the best part, and I think that's why it's so easy to maintain, and you see results so well. And I know other people have also intermittent fasted and seen amazing results. And I'm not saying that's always the best option or the only option, but it's just like what's worked for me. And I love it. And I feel like my goal is to like keep this going. Like I have no need to eat a breakfast that just makes me feel heavy and sluggish and tired and gives you brain fog. Like I don't need that. And I've been doing just fine. I'm actually very productive in the mornings before I eat, and then I have a lunch that still gives me sustainable energy. So I'm not getting tired after I eat lunch, which is so amazing because I feel like that used to not be the thing. I would eat lunch and be like, I am ready for a nap, I am over this, but yeah. And I also really want to add this, but I didn't do this just for looks. So don't get me wrong. I know that I'm not overweight and that I'm not in a really unhealthy spot, but mentally I felt unhealthy, and I just knew that that's not me and that's not how I should feel. And so I chose to do intermittent fasting for myself, for how I felt, not for how I looked or anything like that. And obviously that was a plus, and I'm very happy with how I look now, but it was not just because of that. I just felt so sluggish. and so unhappy. And that is the one thing that really helped turn that around. So don't ever just do a diet, or I don't even know if you consider intermittent fasting a diet, but don't ever do something just for looks. Do it for how it makes you feel. So I chose to intermittent fast because I wanted to feel good about myself and I wanted to feel confident and comfortable again. And so that's why I chose to do it, and that is what it did. And so I feel very good and very happy and very comfortable with myself. So don't just do it for looks, because you'll be unhappy and it's not gonna work. But if you do it for yourself, for how you feel, you will see success in it. So I hope that helped. My biggest advice is to try, whether or not you're going to intermittent fast, is to try eating only when you're healthy. Only eat when you're hungry. And that is really what changed it. Because then I feel like I'm not just eating when the clock says I'm supposed to be eating. I'm eating when my body is hungry and needing to be refueled. And it just has changed everything about the way I look at food and the way I look at my body and myself. It's helped so much. So yeah, I know it's kind of like a rambling video, but I really just wanted to talk about this because it has seriously changed so much in my life, and I just feel so good. I was just not in a good spot, and mentally I feel good. I lost that extra fat that I was holding on to that obviously serves you no purpose except for like making you unhealthy and feel miserable. And my brain fog has cleared up. I am way more productive. I'm more active. I just feel overall energized and happy and good. So anyway, I hope that helps you. If you were interested in trying intermittent fasting, I recommend it, but please just be careful, because any diet or any change is hard on your body. So just eat healthy and make yourself feel good. That's my biggest recommendation. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and comment below if you have ever tried intermittent fasting and if it worked for you, because I'm curious to know like how it's worked for other people, because I know every body is different and everyone has their own situation. So just curious to see like what's worked for you and what made you feel good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.